icy cold, about 1 or 2 degrees, maybe 1 degree. And the sun is out. Look at it glinting through the trees. Just lovely. Well, we're on air. Okay. Hello. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my last. Quite a few people have watched my last little video, and a few messages about my hand. It's still, which today is Monday, and yeah, video went out yesterday. Yeah, it's getting better. If I take it, actually hurts more with this on because I think my arm's pushing against it. But when I take it off, it's a lot better. But it's slow. It's slow. My plan, right? The plan is this week I'm going to ride my bike probably Friday. There is a reason behind that because I've got to go to the doctor's on Friday, but I also need to get to the Forest of Dean afterwards, and Sheila will be taking the car, so I need to get there. So I'm going to cycle there, and it's flat. It's just on the road cruising, so I can ride, just rest my hand on, barely have to use the brake. So I'm hoping by then at least I'll be able to turn a pedal or two. I even thought about, because the sun's out, this week is sunny all week. It's crisp, it's sunny, it's lovely. And man, do I want to go out in this. Go camping again. But I'm just going to have to wait. There'll be other sunny days. I couldn't do the fat packer this last weekend, which is a real shame. I really feel sorry for, there's quite a few people who were going to come, but it seems they only really wanted to come if I was leading the rock. Well, I was there basically, which is, I sort of get it, as I'd organised it. But Simon Holmes came. He did it on his own. And he enjoyed himself. So, yeah, a bit of a shame. Just things didn't quite work out. There's something else that went on as well, but I'm not going to go into that on here. We had a bit of a family medical issue, but I'm not going to talk about that. As I mentioned, these boots, I need to fit the cleats on, but I'm still trying to get some packers because I have to pack this out. I'll try and do some photographs of the leaflet that comes with these because there's nothing online, and it'll explain why I'm on about having to pack them out because they're recessed. They're recessed in quite low. Oh, they need to go up about 1 mil. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a gap underneath of about 2 mil, so it needs to come up 1 mil. Whatever. I will make it work. So I'll probably have that in this week's video. So say it's only Monday, so I've got a bit of time. To me, having the, as I keep saying, having the bag on the bike, having the actual dry bag on the bike is a lot easier because you haven't got to hold the bag, it's already held. So it's a simpler way of loading it, much simpler in my book. Then I put the top outer in first because that's the last thing coming out. Then I put the pegs over the top. Oh, sorry, not the pegs, the poles, which keep it rigid on the top. And then I put the inner. Now what I've done is I've fastened my ground sheet or whatever you want to call it. I've actually zip tied it to the inner, so it's fastened together. So when I put it up, I haven't got to faff around putting one down and then the other, because they go down together. And then so this is much easier when you lay this out. As you saw in my other video, you may not have saw because I put it on fast, but on time lapse. But I can lay this on the floor and put the poles onto it straight away, and it forms the shape and it pins the floor out. So this is just the quickest way of doing it. And what I tend to do is get the two coloured ends, whatever the colour they are, because there's orange and there's grey on the end of these, and I just match them up and put those together, and then that's what I stuff in first. And that you just stuff that in as well. So this is your inner and your ground sheet together, or your footprint they call it, I think. I always used to call it a ground sheet when I was a kid, but I've got an extra set of pegs, long ones, just in case, depending on the ground or if it's windy or stuff, you've got some extra. I always carry them anyway. Better to be safe than sorry. There's plenty of guy lines on the tent. So that's it. That's my house back in its box. All sorted. One thing you need to do is you have to a little bit of grease. Because these are winter boots, you need to put a little bit of grease on the bolts. Now you're going to tighten these bolts up pretty damn tight, so you don't want them coming out, but you also don't want them rusting solid, and they will do, because this is going to be in salt, it's going to be in everything all winter. So what I tend to do is I fill each, this is what I've done forever and a day, I always fill up the hole of the, where the little screw goes in, I fill each hole up with grease. So even the ones without a bolt in, I just put some grease in it. So it just means you're doing what you can just to keep the rust and the muck out. So that's what I do. I've done it, say, forever and a day. I've always done it on any even the summer, because everything gets wet. So you just fill each one. God, my hand does feel better. It's not quite so. Yeah, because the cleat plate is steel, so it will rust. Right, that'll do that. Then you just screw your cleats on. Now there's lots of ways of positioning your cleats, but I'll show you what I do. Because I've done it so many times, I know where I want my cleats to be, but I always put them in the... I will put a link to a video which does advise you on cleat position. What I tend to do is put there's four holes. I tend to put my cleat in the front two. So obviously we're going to have to position that over the holes. Before I do try the shoes, I'm just going to check my battery on my Smart Shift. It should link now. Connecting. 50%. Still got 50%. Haven't charged it since I bought the bike. So since I bought the gearbox, still on half a battery, which is pretty good. I know I don't do big miles. It's very good. I'm curious to see how long it does last. I was going to charge it up, but I thought, no, I'll wait and see how long it goes for. I can sort of see how many miles I've done and how many hours I've done on the bike on Strava. So it'll give you some idea of how long it lasts. But obviously, it all depends how much you shift whilst you're riding. Yeah. I don't have auto shift. I think I forgot to mention, I don't know whether I mentioned or not, to have auto shift work on the gearbox, you need a sensor on the back wheel. I took the sensor off because I was having trouble with it, locating it properly. And I thought, I don't really want auto shift anyway. I did try it, but I found myself shifting even though I had auto shift. So I think it's probably aimed more at e-bikes, maybe, I don't know. Or downhill, I don't know really. But I like the fact I can change. It's so quick to change anyway. I just use manual. Right, I'm going to get my shoes on and then try these pedals. Push the boa, can you pull it out to release it and push it in to wind it up. You just pull up the slack from the bottom and take it up with the dial. Once you've got it pretty tight, put your flap over and there you go. You can just fine adjust it. The other one's not quite going in as it should. This one went in perfectly. Why doesn't that one? No, I think I may have to pack them out a bit more. Right, the reason they're not going in is simple. They're not shallow enough, they're too deep, so I need to pack them out. So the Hope, looks like these Hope spacers may well come in handy after all. Now I'm hoping that you can get these separately from Hope, because there's nobody makes anything like this. Not that's reliable. I did find some on eBay, but they're not very reliable. The suppliers are not reliable. Right, so it's now Thursday and a few things have changed. So earlier in the video I was talking about fitting these cleats and looking for things like, this is the Shimano packer. You can see that little Shimano packer to pack out your cleats so it's in the right position. I also found some Hope cleats packers which would work, but I ordered, I don't know if I mentioned this already, I ordered some packers that I found on eBay. Now, they didn't turn up. So I cancelled the order. What happens? 2 days later, they turn up with long bolts. So this is perfect. So I've since, I got a refund. So I've since paid him for them, told him they turned up, and paid him. He was very pleased. I guess a lot of people probably wouldn't have done. But anyway, I thought I'll pay him anyway because they've turned up and they are brilliant. So, well, I say they're brilliant. I haven't taken them out of the packet yet. But I'll put a link to where I got these from because they're really, really hard to find. So if you ever need packers to space out your cleats on your shoes, this is the place to go. He makes them all himself. So, yeah, I think I'm a £13.50. Worth every penny if it does the job. So what I'm going to do is fit the cleats properly now. I've also got something else. Something arrived. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, let's get the cleat spacers out. We don't need these anymore. So these can go back in there. We don't need those bolts anymore either because they're too short. I've still got this on. Yesterday I took it off for a while. It's not too bad actually, but it still hurts. It still hurts. It's not much. It's a little bit of difference, but it still hurts all the time when I can feel pain in my hand every time I move it. So it's still not fixed. But tomorrow is a road ride almost. I'm riding to the forest. I've got to go to the doctor's in the morning about my tablets. And then afterwards, I've got to get to the forest again. I think I've already mentioned this in the video. But it means just going down the path, a bit of family cycle trail, and down to Lydney. So I'm going to take the super lightweight fat bike that I built for the challenge, which I still haven't done. So that's going to go with me. Take that. And then come back in the car later. So that's going to be later in the video. Right, at the moment, it's all about getting these boots, because I'm going to wear these tomorrow as well. I haven't worn them on the bike yet. Oh, we get a nice array of cleat spacers. So I'll just show you what's what. So, they're all super grippy. It's like a grippy side and a non-grippy side. Not sure what they're made of. Carbon? Job to say. Real hard stuff. No, they're all the same thickness, that's it. They're a mil, I think. Mil each. So you can space them a millimetre at a time, which is perfect. And I've got longer bolts. That's what I was really worried about. Where the hell am I going to get the bolts from? Right, so let's see how we go here. So I'm going to put 2 spacers on. Grippy side down. Yes, I'll put a link to where to get these spacers from, these packers. Because if you do have these shoes and you want to run cleat, you're going to need these spacers. Now I sort of want them to almost tap the floor. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Absolutely. So 2 spacers is worked out. Where's my screw? That is actually dead level. So I need to tighten those up a bit. So I'm going to take the box back out and put some grease in there before I finally assemble it. So 2 packers should be spot on. Oh, so much better. Straight in. That's better. No messing about. Nice click. Perfecto. Also, it's quite fortunate these came now because it snowed yesterday, and we may get some more tomorrow. So warm boots are essential at the moment. Let us see what we've got here. Let's open this box. So, this came today. I've been sort of waiting for this to come out. I was actually waiting for something else to come out, but this came out instead. And it's sort of changed a lot of things. I'll explain more in a minute. So, what is it? It's a camera. It's a new camera. Yes, I've got 3. I've got one here on my chest. I've got filming on another one up there. So yes, I've got plenty of cameras. So I'll just move this a bit closer, you can see. But judging by all the reviews, because it's been out a few days now, this is a real game changer. I'll explain why in a minute. So this is the new DJI Action 6. I've got an Action 5, and I'm really pleased with the Action 5. I'm also filming, as you can see, with a GoPro. Now the GoPro, I was sort of waiting to see if the new GoPro was going to come out, if they were going to bring out a GoPro 14, but nothing. What happened instead is they brought out a 360 camera. Well, I'm not interested in 360 cameras at all. It's not my thing. So when this came out, I thought showed some interest. I sort of thought, well, I'll look into it. And it is quite a game changer in as much as it's got a adjustable aperture, which is quite unusual for, well, it's unique for an action camera. There haven't been one yet. So it adjusts the aperture. Now I'm no photographic expert, but from what I've read it just helps with depth of field, obviously low light and all the rest of it. So it's got, gosh, nice. It's much simpler. Oh, coffee's arrived. Look at that. Telepathic. My wife's telepathic. Just gonna have a drink of this. So there it is. So that's the camera. I've also bought a macro lens which screws on so you can have close-up video, which I've really wanted to do, because every time you go close on a normal camera, it just goes, if I go close like that, you'll see it goes blurred. And it's adjustable. So this is adjustable macro lens, so you can get some depth of field. This is a cover, so it's starting to look like a proper camera, you know, and it's an action camera. Because this uses exactly the same battery as the old one, I've got plenty. I've got 4 now, so absolutely brilliant. So I can pop this in the charger. I've already got 2 charged up. So all of the DJI batteries cross between all of the different cameras and 360. How much charge is in that? It's not showing anything. Oh, it's flat. Right, so we'll pop that one in, and then we'll put this on charge. But that's what I want. Now these are new, and you can fit them either way around. The previous one, the magnet pushes away. If you put it on one way, it only goes one way, whereas this one will go both ways. Don't ask me how it works, because you'd think a magnet would be a magnet, but take it off, it fits both ways. So either there's 2 magnets in there, but whatever, it fits both ways. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So let's pop the battery in. So that's fully charged. It's also got 50 gigabytes of internal storage. So there's no SD card in there at the moment, but I'm going to turn it on anyway because we've got a full charge. What do we get? Oh, scan. Actually, I don't need to do that because, just move that over, swipe to unlock. I will go through the rest of it in a moment. I just, whilst that's sat there, I'm just going to open this up and see what we got. As soon as you're here. So the macro lens, this was quite expensive, but lenses tend to be expensive. I will put all the prices and links to everything, although there's links everywhere for DJI. Need a link, I'll put one anyway. Comes in a nice case. That feels pretty heavy, substantial. So we've got a nice case. Oh, a nice proper lens as well, look at that. And that screws on. On the GoPro, I don't know if you watched my video from a few, well, in Australia actually. I bought the GoPro Hero 13 with changeable lenses. And my experience was I put the lens on, and when I was out cycling, the lens came off, because a GoPro lens is a quarter turn. So you put it on, turn it, and that's it. But it can come off quite easily. So this one, it's quite hard to undo, but it screws on. So you've got to do it a few times before it actually comes off. So you're not accidentally going to knock it off. Let's just put this on. So I guess this is the same. It just screws on. Yeah. So there's a few turns to get it on, which is what I wanted, what I like. So it's on now. It's not going to come off in your pocket. And then this, you've got adjustable. See the little red line? That's close up like a flower. It's got, so that's close up thing. And you've got a person, close up to a person. And then you've got landscape is the furthest one. Now I'm going to go through and show you what each setting does to the actual picture later on. I won't do it today. I'm going to set the camera up and then I will come back. But actually, let's go and get my phone. Let's go and get my phone. Right, we're back. Let's just sort the time out. Actually, I'm going to change this lens back before I do that. Just put this back as it should be. So I'll keep that in there. It's got a proper case. The GoPro one had a really rubbish case. That was the other thing as well. This is all like properly made. So there we go. That's what we got. We've got camera, sticky, a mount cable, macro lens, and a spare lens. 4K 30, I think we'll do. Wide. Aspect ratio. So you can now choose, because there's a square sensor in here instead of oblong. So you can have any, you haven't got to turn the camera like this, like you used to do portrait. So if you want to do portrait for Instagram or something like that, or TikTok, you used to have to turn the camera over. Now you don't. It will automatically change the photo, or you can set it in portrait or landscape. I'm going to put it in auto. Or you can have it in custom, where you can choose, because it's got a great big square sensor now, a 1-inch sensor, which is brilliant for low light and all the rest of it. So we'll leave it at that. Shut that down. What I wanted to do was, I can remember where it is. That's it. Set up date and time. I think it's there. Date and time. There we go. Right. So it's not the 1st of January 2026. Done. Bingo. Right, that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to set up the Wi-Fi in the house and all the rest of it. But you can see basically what I've got. Yeah, love it. Oh, there's one thing I was just going to do. Yeah, internal storage, 50 gigabytes. No SD card yet. But yeah, you can just film quite a bit on there without actually putting an SD card in it. Tomorrow I'll probably use this. Why on earth not? And we'll see how we go. Right, new camera. Not that you can probably tell at all, but yeah, it's just a new camera. All right, I'm going to go. I am now going to ride my bicycle. I've just been to the doctor's. Everything seems to be okay. I've just got to. Anyway, yeah, I won't go into that now. So I'm going on the my old Raven, which has been set up for that challenge. So I'm going to ride that down to the Forest of Dean. So yeah, come along with me. It's freezing outside. It's minus I don't know what. So I'm all wrapped up, ready for the cold, because it's not going to be very warm ride. It's going to be cruise. So I'm going to get cold. But anyway, at least we're getting out. Right, see you in a bit. What a day, look at it, it's beautiful. So, struggling a bit today, but I'm here, the sun is shining. I'm down in the forest now. I'm in a bit of a rush because I haven't got very long. I've got to get down to, I went to the doctor this morning. I've got to get to my son's house by 11:15. It's now 20 past 11. So no time for hanging around, no time for filming really. So in a bit of a rush. So yeah, anyway, hand's fine. So I've still got the brace on my hand and it seems to be fine. Bearing in mind I'm only just on flat trails, so nothing crazy. So yeah, loving it. Oh, just crisp, and it's a shame it's going to rain tomorrow, which is a real shame, but I love weather like this. Just crispy sunshine. Icy cold, about 1 or 2 degrees, maybe 1 degree, and the sun is out. Look at it glinting through the trees, just lovely. Anyway, I'll concentrate. I'll become a cropper. Boots are good. I will do a bit of a long-term review on the boots, and the only thing I haven't done is I haven't put thick socks on. So I put the boots on, forgot all about it, and just got normal skinny socks. So my feet are, one toe is a little bit cold, and I've got a lot of room in the boots, so I should have put my thick socks on. That's the whole point. But there you go. Anyway, live and learn. So I'm about, well, I've done 20 miles so far. I'm about 5 or 6 miles away. So I will catch you in a bit. Right, okay. Hope you liked the video. I know it's not been much this week, but by all means, let me know what you think. I always love to hear your comments, and like and subscribe and all that stuff. And I will catch you next week. Take it easy, stay warm, stay dry, but have fun.